Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly felt like you forgot how to be a person?
More times than I want to admit. You walk in and your brain just goes completely blank.
You look around and everyone seems to know exactly what to say to each other.
And you are standing there trying to look busy with your phone so no one notices you.
That is the exact feeling we are talking about today on English Unlocked.
Starting a conversation with someone you do not know, one of the most human and terrifying things.
It sounds so simple when you say it out loud. Just go say hello, just open your mouth.
But that moment before you speak feels like standing at the edge of something very high.
Welcome to English Unlocked. I am Luna, and this is Luca, and today we are going slow.
We are going to talk honestly about fear, awkward silences, and that very first sentence.
And we hope by the end of this episode, you feel a little more ready than you did before.
Whether you are learning English or just learning how to connect with people, this one is for you.
Hello, and welcome back to English Unlocked, the slow English podcast for real life.
I am Luca, and next to me is the wonderful Luna. How are you feeling today, Luna?
Honestly, Luca, I feel a little nervous because today's topic is one I feel very personally about.
Starting a conversation with anyone, just reading that made my stomach feel something.
It did. Because even now, even after years of talking for a living, I still feel it sometimes.
The fear is not about the English or the language, it is something much deeper than that.
Today, we want to go into that deeper place and really be honest about what it feels like.
And then we will talk about what actually helps not from a book, but from real experience.
So get comfortable, breathe slowly, and let's begin.
Can I tell you something embarrassing right at the start of this episode?
Please do. Embarrassing is my favorite type of honest.
2 years ago, I went to a work event. Not a party, just a small professional gathering.
Those are somehow the worst. Too formal for fun, too casual for hiding behind an agenda.
Exactly. And I stood near the food table for 45 minutes, pretending to be very interested in cheese.
45 minutes. Near the cheese table. Luca, that is a very detailed kind of lonely.
There were people there I wanted to meet, people doing interesting things in my field.
But the first sentence just would not come. You kept waiting for the right moment.
The right moment never came because I was waiting for the fear to go away first.
And the fear does not go away first. That is the thing nobody tells you clearly enough.
I left that evening feeling like I had failed some kind of invisible test.
I know that feeling, not failure because something went wrong. Failure because nothing happened at all.
You did not even try, and somehow that feels worse than trying and failing.
Because when nothing happens, you go home with all the imaginary conversations still inside you.
All the things you could have said, might have said, but did not say.
And those imaginary conversations replay in your head that night when you are trying to sleep.
Luna, how do you explain that to someone who has never felt this way?
I think it is the voice. Everyone has a voice inside that says, what if I say the wrong thing?
What if they look at me strangely? What if there is silence? What if they walk away?
And that voice is not lying to protect you. It is lying to keep you small and safe.
Safe and alone near the cheese table.
Safe and alone near the cheese table. I want to ask our listeners something before we go further.
A good question. Ask it slowly.
Think about a time you wanted to talk to someone but did not. What stopped you?
Not the words. I want to say that clearly. For most people, it is not a vocabulary problem.
Even people who speak the language perfectly feel this fear. It is not about grammar or accent.
It is about something more personal, the fear of being rejected before you even open your mouth.
The fear of seeming strange, or boring, or too eager, or not interesting enough.
We build this enormous story in our minds before we say a single word to a real person.
And that story is almost always a story about how it goes wrong.
Nobody imagines the version where it goes beautifully and you make a new friend.
Nobody sits near the cheese table thinking, this is going to be a wonderful conversation.
They think this person is going to look confused and then politely excuse themselves.
So the fear is really a story, a very convincing story that we keep telling ourselves.
And the only way to change the story is to interrupt it. Just once. Just a little.
You do not need to destroy the fear. You just need to act while it is still there.
That is what brave people do. They are afraid, and they start the sentence anyway.
Brave is not the absence of fear. Brave is the presence of a decision.
Write that somewhere. I mean, it.
Luca, I have to share my own story now because your cheese table story made me feel very seen.
Please tell me yours. I want to know I am not the only person who hides near food at events.
Mine is different. I was not at a work event. I was at a friend's birthday party.
Those feel safe, though. You know people there. You have a reason to be there.
That is what I thought. But the birthday girl was the kind of person who has 50 friends.
And maybe you knew four of them.
I knew two, and both of them arrived late. So for the first 30 minutes, I was essentially alone.
In a room full of people who were all in the middle of conversations that already started.
Exactly. And I had this very specific feeling. Not that I was invisible, the opposite, actually.
You felt like everyone could see you standing alone and wondering why you were alone.
Yes, like my aloneness was very visible and very loud. I kept moving around to look purposeful.
Moving around like you had somewhere to be. Some important snack mission.
I went to look at the bookshelf, then I refilled a drink I had not finished. Then I went to the window.
And the whole time you are inside your head writing the story of how strange you look.
Then one woman came and stood near the window next to me, and she said 4 words.
Four words changed everything.
She said, "This view is nice. That is it." 4 words about a window.
And you talked to her for how long?
2 hours. She became one of my closest friends for the next 3 years.
4 words. No perfect opening. No clever topic. Just an honest small observation.
And it worked because it was real. It was true. The view was actually nice.
She was not trying to impress you. She was just starting, just placing one small word next to another.
And that is the thing I want to live inside for the rest of this episode.
I think we put too much weight on the first sentence. We want it to be perfect.
We want it to be interesting, smart, funny, and not too strange all at the same time.
And when something has to be all those things, it becomes impossible to begin.
But in real life, the best first sentences are almost always simple and honest.
A comment about where you are, something you both see or hear or experience right now.
This place is crowded. This music is good. I love those shoes. Small and real.
It does not need to be clever. It just needs to open a door that the other person can walk through.
And most people want to walk through that door. Most people are also waiting for someone to start.
That is the secret that feels unbelievable until you really accept it.
Most people at that party, at that event, at that coffee shop, they also feel a little nervous.
Even the ones who look confident, even the ones who are laughing and talking easily.
Many of them spent 2 minutes earlier that evening also not knowing how to begin.
And someone just happened to speak first, and now they are in the middle of a good conversation.
The only difference between the person talking and the person standing alone is one sentence.
One sentence that does not need to be anything special, it just needs to exist.
When you understand that, the pressure becomes much smaller.
You are not performing, you are just placing a small stone on the ground and seeing what grows.
Can I talk about something a little deeper for a moment?
Always, this is the slow podcast. We have time.
I think a big part of why people do not start conversations is that they are waiting for permission
Permission from who?
from the other person, from the situation, from some sign that says, yes, right now, this is allowed.
That is interesting. Say more about that.
We think there will be a natural pause, a perfect gap, a moment where it is clearly okay to speak.
And that moment almost never comes in the way we imagine it.
Conversations do not announce themselves. You do not get a signal. You just begin.
And that requires a kind of courage that feels strange at first, like you are interrupting something.
Even when you are not interrupting anything, even when the other person is also just standing there.
I remember the first time I introduced myself to someone at a cafe where we both sat alone.
A stranger in a cafe. That is a brave one.
He was reading a book I recognized. I wanted to say something for about 10 minutes.
10 minutes of sitting there thinking about saying something.
And finally, I just said quietly, "Is that book good? I have been meaning to read it."
And what happened?
He put the book down and talked to me for an hour. He was a professor, fascinating person,
And for 10 minutes before that, you almost let that conversation never happen.
because I was waiting for permission, and permission never comes from outside.
It only comes from you deciding that the moment is now.
That is the hardest part, being the one who decides that it is okay to begin.
I want to talk about why the fear is physical, because it is not just in your head.
Before you even say the first word, your body is already preparing for something.
Your heart gets a little faster, your chest feels something tight, your mouth goes a little dry.
That is your nervous system doing what it was built to do, protecting you from possible danger.
But talking to a stranger at a birthday party is not the same danger as something actually threatening.
Your nervous system does not always know the difference, though. It just responds.
And that physical feeling is what many people interpret as a sign they should not do it.
They feel the nervousness and think, see, this is not a good idea. I should stay where I am.
But the nervousness is not a warning. It is just energy. The same energy you feel when you are excited.
The feeling before a good thing and the feeling before a scary thing can be almost identical.
So when you notice that physical feeling, you can try to tell yourself a different story about it.
Not this is dangerous, but this matters to me. That is why my body is awake right now.
You are awake because connection matters. You are nervous because you care about people.
And that is actually something beautiful about you, not something wrong with you.
The nervousness means you are human. It means you want something real.
Take a slow breath and let that be okay. Let us talk practically for a moment because I think some people need a starting place.
Yes, let us give something concrete, something to hold in your hand.
When you do not know what to say, the easiest thing is to notice something around you.
Look at the room, look at the moment. What is true right now that you could say out loud?
You do not have to invent a topic. The topic is already there in the environment.
If you are at a cafe, the coffee here smells really good. That is enough to start.
If you are at a class, this homework was harder than I expected. Completely honest and relatable.
If you are waiting somewhere, the line is really long today. 3 words. Door is open.
People respond to shared experience. You are both in the same place at the same moment.
That shared moment is already something you have in common. You do not need more than that.
I also love asking a gentle question if I have a small reason to ask it.
Something you genuinely want to know. Not a test question, a real curious question.
Did you come here often? Or do you know anyone else here? Very simple and very human.
The key is that it is genuine, not a trick or a technique, a real moment of curiosity.
Because people can feel the difference between someone reading from a script and someone who is real.
And when you are real, even if your words are simple, people feel it.
Simple and real is always better than clever and false.
Okay, so the first sentence happened, and they responded, and now there is a silence.
The silence arrives and suddenly you feel like you broke something.
But silence in a conversation is not always a broken thing. Sometimes it is just breathing room.
The pressure we put on silence is incredible. Half a second of quiet, and we want to disappear.
I have learned to let silence be a little longer than feels comfortable, just a beat.
And often, the other person fills it because they feel it too, and they say the next thing.
Or you both smile, and that itself is a kind of communication, a small human moment.
If the silence goes on and you want to continue, just ask a gentle follow-up question.
Go a little deeper into what they just said. Show that you heard them. that you are interested.
If they said they are from another city, ask what it is like there, or what they miss about it.
If they mentioned a hobby, ask what got them started. People love to talk about how they began something.
You are not interrogating them. You are just showing that their answer mattered to you.
And the greatest gift you can give someone in a conversation is your actual attention.
Not waiting for your turn to speak, not planning your next sentence while they talk.
Just listening. Fully. Slowly. With your face, your eyes, your whole presence.
When someone feels truly heard, they open, they keep talking, they feel safe.
And the conversation becomes something both of you are building together, not just side by side, but together.
Let us talk about one more fear that keeps people quiet. The fear of saying something embarrassing.
This one is huge. People do not just fear rejection, they fear humiliation.
The wrong joke at the wrong time. A comment that lands strangely. Mispronouncing something.
Saying something and getting a polite smile that clearly means, I do not understand what you mean.
I have done all of these. In many languages and in many situations.
And I want to ask you honestly, Luca, did those moments ruin a conversation? Did people walk away?
Almost never. One time, yes. But that person was also having a bad day, and it was not really about me.
In almost every other case, a little awkward moment just becomes part of the story.
People actually warm to you more when something small goes wrong and you handle it with warmth.
Because it shows you are real, not polished, not rehearsed, not performing.
Just a person having a genuine moment with another person.
I remember saying the wrong word in English once at a very serious meeting. I meant to say embarrassed.
And what came out instead?
I said I feel very pregnant about this situation because in my first language, the word is similar.
And nobody at that meeting will ever forget you.
They all laughed, and it was the moment the whole room relaxed. After that, the conversation was easy.
Your mistake created the human moment that the whole room needed.
If I had been too afraid to speak at all, that moment would never have happened.
Mistakes can be the thing that opens people's hearts, not the thing that closes doors.
Be willing to be imperfect. Be willing to say the slightly wrong word.
Be willing to be a little awkward. The world is full of people who will love you for it.
I want to shift a little, not about how to start a conversation, but about how to be in one.
How to be the person that others want to talk to.
Yes, because I think when you are that person, other people start conversations with you.
Tell me about a person who made you feel completely comfortable to talk. Who comes to mind?
My neighbor in the first apartment I ever rented, she was in her 60s. Very quiet energy.
What made her special in conversation?
She always looked at you when you spoke, like there was nowhere else in the world she needed to be.
Full attention. No phone. No looking over your shoulder. Just her eyes on you.
And she never tried to be the most interesting person in the room. She tried to make you interesting.
She asked questions. She listened. She remembered small things you had told her before.
And when I was with her, I felt like my words mattered, like my story was worth telling.
That is the kind of conversationalist that everyone wants to find.
And you can be that person. It is not about being clever or charming or eloquent.
It is about attention. Genuine, full, slow attention.
People are so hungry for that. In a world where everyone is busy and distracted.
Someone who really listens is almost rare, and people remember them.
So, if you want to be a person who is easy to talk to, start with your ears, not your words.
Listen more than you speak. Ask more than you answer. Be curious about the person in front of you.
That is the real skill. And the beautiful thing is that it makes every conversation better for everyone.
Luna, I want to ask you something that I think we sometimes forget to say clearly.
Ask it. This is the part of the episode I was waiting for.
Why does this matter so much? Why do we care so deeply about being able to talk to strangers?
Because at the end of the day, connection is what we are here for. It is what makes life feel full.
We spend so much energy trying to avoid the discomfort of starting a conversation.
And in doing that, we also avoid everything that could come after it, the friendship, the surprise.
The person who changes how you think about something, the person who becomes important to you.
And when I am old, I do not want to think about the conversations I was too afraid to start.
I want to think about the ones I started even when I was scared, even when I was awkward.
I want to remember the woman at the window who said 4 words and became my close friend.
I want to remember the professor in the cafe who talked to me for an hour about ideas I had never considered.
Those moments started with a small, imperfect, simple sentence.
And the only thing required was a decision. One small decision to open your mouth.
So, if today you feel afraid of starting a conversation, that is okay. The fear is normal.
But do not let the fear make the decision for you. You make the decision. You are the one in charge.
And you might be the person who says the 4 words that someone else needed to hear today.
You might be the one who starts it, and the conversation that follows might be something you remember for years.
Before we go to our last thoughts, I want to ask you something. Leave it in the comments.
Have you ever had a conversation that started by accident or by courage, and it changed something in your life?
Tell us the story. Even a short version. We read every comment and we love hearing your stories.
We really do. The comments section of this podcast sometimes feels like its own conversation.
We are near the end of this episode, and I want to say something slow and honest before we close.
Say it, Luna.
Starting a conversation does not mean you have to be confident, perfect, or interesting.
It means you are willing to be human in front of another human. That is all.
The fear will be there, the awkwardness might be there too, and it is still worth doing.
Every connection in your life started with someone opening their mouth first.
Let that person sometimes be you.
Thank you for spending this time with us. If this episode helped you or made you feel something, please share it with one person who needs to hear it.
And if you are learning English, know that every conversation you try, even the difficult ones, is making you stronger and more confident.
This is English Unlocked. We will see you in the next episode.
Take care of yourselves and take care of each other.
Take care.